selections. If your buddy asks, you better give him directions to the contract. As a matter of fact,
Hello guys, how are you doing today? Thank you for coming back into the channel. On today's video, we're going to speak about something really important, and that is the current state of the market. And why we are talking about that, you already spoke about that on the previous video, because everybody's speaking about that on this precise moment, because everyone is on a loss, everyone is crying because their portfolio is all red. But I mean, that is normal, guys. That is something that actually is bound to happen. I mean, you have to invest only the money that you are able, that you are willing to gamble. This is a gamble, totally a gamble. But we can take in consideration all the factors that are happening right now surrounding the cryptocurrency market from a macroeconomic perspective. And that is really important because we have technical analysis, but obviously we have to take a look around of what is going on with the market, and that's what we're gonna do right now. So starting with that, what is Bitcoin doing at this precise moment? So if we take a look, we already spoke about this several times. We spoke about the option A, option B, and option C. What could Bitcoin paths could be taking? And for that, we had option A, that it is definitely not going to happen right now. We have option B, that it is still a possibility. Sincerely, I think that is still a possibility that we go below the bull market support band. We retrace here, we try to break it again, and then we finally break above the bull market support band and the 50 weekly EMA. And well, this is, I'm going to put it on a blue color a little bit better. And then we have the next option that we were talking about, that is the option C, that we go below the bull market support band, we bounce here on the support, we try to break the bull market support band. Sorry, I want to try to rephrase that differently, and then we get rejected and retrace again to the support that we have here on the 38,000 level. So that is option C, as you remember. That is correct. I'm going to put it with letters right here. That is option B, sorry. A is not an option anymore. And then we have right here option C. Okay. And that's what we are seeing at the moment. This is the color on red. So that is for the technical analysis, but that's not the only thing that we have to take a look at the moment. I mean, and why Bitcoin is down at the moment? Obviously, we can see here on the daily chart we had a really big drop yesterday. And why did that happen? Because, I mean, there are several factors, but I want to try to explain what are the most relevant for me. And the first one of them, it is that on-chain data suggests that Bitcoin miners were behind the sell-off. There was a big buy Bitcoin sell-off yesterday, and that because a lot of miners sold their Bitcoin. And I mean, this has happened a lot in the past. If you can see the chart that I have here on my screen, this is actually a Bitcoin miner sell-off. This is another one, and all of them you can see the change on the direction for Bitcoin. This one just happened yesterday, and you can see that we were actually we shifted momentum as we were expecting, and we can see it right here. I mean, sorry, that is Shiryo. You can see it right here, all the sell-off that all the miners were actually performing yesterday. And I mean, why they began to sell, nobody knows. Maybe they wanted to buy more mining rigs, maybe they just wanted to profit, or maybe they just wanted to prepare for the next bull market run. So that is the first reason that I'm thinking about that. And I mean, this is really obvious. You can see the really huge spike that we have here on the Bitcoin sales. So that is the first that is the first factor. The second factor that this sell triggered, it triggered all the liquidations that we see here. All the longs that we had for Bitcoin were liquidated. Well, not all of them. Most of them were liquidated. And how many longs were liquidated? Something close to $18 million were liquidated yesterday because of the Bitcoin sell-off. So, okay, so you have Bitcoin, they start selling, the price of Bitcoin starts going down, then it triggers the liquidations for the longs, then it starts to go down further, and that's where we are right now. But not only that, today they released the CPI report, the Consumer Price Index, as far as I remember for the name, and they released that we are actually the inflation, it is crazy high. It is high as fuck. I mean, they are actually on drugs at the moment, because the last time that we saw this index, It was on the 80s. That is correct. So inflation, it is really skyrocketing at the moment. I mean, a lot of us actually wish that this graphic was for the assets that we hold at the moment skyrocketing, but sadly we cannot buy a CPI. I mean, that will be something really interesting that we could be able, that we are able to buy CPI index, but I mean, okay. So inflation is skyrocketing, and that means that a lot of investors will start to take a lot of precautions of investing in the cryptocurrency market. And not only that, we have the COVID cases starting to rise on China. So we have obviously the news that a lot of people starting to be in on lockdown, and a lot of people start to take precautions as well of this because they don't know how the market is gonna react with this new string, or however you call it, of COVID. I mean, this is the other news that I think that the market is reacting to right now. So this is what I call the perfect storm. Everything happened yesterday. Everything is starting to bring, everything wants to bring the price of Bitcoin right down right now. But I have a really interesting thing that I want to show you right now. And this is the biggest secret of what the whales are doing at this precise moment. So let me show you this graphic, this chart that I have here on the screen. And what is saying, what is trying to say this chart? Look at the amount, the balance of exchanges of Bitcoin, how many Bitcoin the exchanges are holding right now. So Bitcoin, it is being drained at a drastic level at this precise moment in all exchanges, meaning the last time that exchanges had this amount of supply of Bitcoin, it was on the 2018, and all the whales are buying the Bitcoin that you sell because you are panicking right now, and they pull it off the supplies and they put them on their cold wallet. So whales are obviously manipulating the market, and they know that you are gonna panic. They are gonna buy the Bitcoin that you are selling, and they are starting to drain all the exchanges, that all the supply that are on the exchanges right now. And I wanna tell you, rich people is made on downtrend markets. So please be patient, hold on your assets, and hold of your Bitcoin, Shiryo, whatever you are holding at the moment. And okay, that is the message that I wanted to send you of what is going on with the market. We have the minor selling that cascaded on longs of liquidation. We have the CPI report coming out. We have the COVID cases started rising, but the whales don't care. They are buying Bitcoin and draining the exchanges. What does mean? That they think that the bull market is gonna start at some point of time really soon. So that is for Bitcoin. What is going on with Shiryo? So Shiryo, if you obviously, if you take a zoom right now into the daily, it's gonna look ugly. Nobody likes this chart, but I want to highlight something really important for you. Let's zoom out to what actually we can see on Shiryo on the daily chart. Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. This is the chart that we have right now. Okay, so this is actually beautiful. We are really solid. We have strong. We're holding really strong right now, compared to Bitcoin, compared to Ether, compared to XRP, compared to whatever. Look at the resilience of Shiryo. Look at how Shiryo is holding right now. It is really the most stable coin that I can see at this precise moment. And the last message that I want to transmit to you right now, it is that, for example, you see this chart that I have on my screen right now, but this remember me of something that I missed on the past. Well, I didn't miss it, but I wanted to actually buy more of this on the past. Let me show you. What do we see here? This is the Shiba chart. Do you see the similarities that we are having right now? I mean, clear, more clear than this, impossible, bro. And what happened next? You already know the story. Skyrocketing, motherfucker. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you. Please be patient. Don't let the whales manipulate your holdings. Always do your own research, and see you until the next video.
On the Shiryo reflections, mint avatars to add to our collections.